So we today are just doing little videos that I'm going to string together into one big thing for you of food prep that I do to make things easier for the week. So I went to Costco, like I said, and went back and got my chicken. So I get the pack of 3 chickens. It was on sale this week, so $5.50 off per package. So that's a lot. So we went and got 2 bags, so we get 6 chickens. And this should hopefully last us about a week and a half. What I do is I cook 2 chickens at a time, and I don't buy pieces. So I don't buy chicken breasts, I don't buy the thighs and everything else. It's just you end up spending way more money. So a great way to save money and get way more meals is buy a whole chicken. But I either Instapot my chicken or I butterfly it. So if you're gonna cook a chicken breast with the bone in, it takes the exact same amount of time as cooking a butterflied chicken. So you get, it's the same amount of time, less work. Less work, more food, more bang for your buck. Because this cost me $20 for 6 chickens, right? So that means each chicken costs just over $6. That is a really good deal. That is a very good deal. And it'll feed my family, more importantly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how I butterfly my chicken, how I do this, and why this is what you need to start doing. So the chickens come out whole like this, all tied up. I take it out, just like that. So one whole chicken, if this was dinner, would not serve my family at all. So what happens is, by doing the 2 chickens, I have enough meat for everybody, and I have meat for lunch for the next 2 days. So it works really well. I have enough meat to send lunch with everybody, including Pete, to work. They have filling lunches, filling food, everything. Lots of really good protein that is not deep fried. And I can hear my son in the back. Yep, he's on the phone. Yep, he's on the phone right now. Alrighty, so how to butterfly a chicken. Here is my chicken breast. And what you're gonna see is the chicken is breast up. So what I'm gonna do is just simply take my knife and go straight down the center. Just like that. Nothing fancy at all. And what you're gonna do is just cut through, and you're gonna get to the breastbone. And you're gonna want a really sharp knife and a little bit of muscle power, and just come through, just like that. And then I'm gonna split it open, okay? So I'm just gonna split the chicken open, just like that. Free up the breastbone, and then what I'm gonna do is crack it open and splay it down, just like that. That's it. That's all it takes to butterfly it. I remove the string from the chicken. I'll season this and put it in the oven for 425 Fahrenheit, and it'll come out in 40 minutes. Normally 4 minutes is completely cooked through. Then the next part is the bones go into my Instapot, and I make, can't think of the word right now, I make my stock. That's what I'm trying to think of. So I get my soup stock out of this as I smack that chicken. I get my soup stock. I get about 3 days worth of meat, of lunch, 3 days worth of lunches out of the meat, and a full meal as well. All out of 2 chickens that are $6 each. It's a great deal. And it's a great way to save money for your family. It's just a great way to eat healthy. It really is. Give it a try. So it's dinner time, and I'm now doing the next step of meal prep for part of the week, a good chunk of the week. So some of the things I need to think about when I'm doing meal prep for my family is not just lunches and, hey, what are we gonna eat for dinner? What am I gonna serve for second dinner? That's a reality in our house. 4 nights out of the week, I will serve dinner. And then I will serve second dinner at 9 o'clock after they've come home from their activities because of how many calories they've burned. So I've said in the past, like my eldest, when she comes back from a 2-hour practice and it's been a double up day, so she's had swim practice in the morning and swim practice at night, she will burn between 8,000 to 10,000 calories in that day. So I need to fuel her well. My son will go and climb, and he's burning probably at least 1,000 calories when he comes home, and he's ravenous. So I don't want them eating crap. That's not gonna help them, that's not gonna make them stronger, and it's not gonna make them more engaged in school. My daughter's about to have her lemonade thing go, so don't worry, she's making fresh lemonade for dinner tonight. You can go, baby. So that's the sound in the background. And she's got her lemon squeezer, and she's squeezing lemon juice. So I cooked my chickens, and I showed a quick clip, and then what I do is I then tear the chicken apart. So as you can see, those are whole pieces of chicken. So chicken wings, breasts of chicken, chicken legs, you've got it. They're all in here, and this container has 2 whole chickens. So that lets me give them really quick, easy snacks, or easy second dinners, essentially, or first dinners, depending on how our day, like how our eating is going. So Sunday nights, we always do like a nice proper sit-down family dinner. Not just because it's Sunday, it's one of the few days in the week we are all together at the same time and not being staged. So going out to other activities and coming in, me working, coming back in, carpooling, all of that. So I make a really nice roast dinner. When I'm making that roast dinner, so tonight is roast lamb, it's already in the oven, and that lamb is going to be 2 to 3 meals for us. So we'll have the meal of tonight, and then it'll go into salads or sandwiches or little kind of charcuterie snacks. So one of the other foods that I give my kids when there isn't time for a full meal, I'll make like a charcuterie board for them. And so sliced meats, hard-boiled eggs, some veg, some nuts, some fruit, and put that on, and cheese, definitely cheese. So they kind of got all the food groups on their board and on their plate, and then off they go to practice, but it's easy to digest. It's not heavy in their stomach, but it's full of nutrition and full of energy, which is what they're gonna need. So the rest of that meat will get sliced up and put in a container just like the chicken and go from there. Okay, so with our roast dinner tonight, our roast lamb, I'm going to be doing roast veggies, so Brussels sprouts, mushrooms, and sweet potato are all going to get roasted in the oven, and it's going to be tossed with quinoa. Quinoa this week because that's going to be the theme or the underlier for all our meals this week. So I'm going to be cooking up quinoa because I'm going to make our dessert from quinoa tonight, which will also be their sweet snack in their lunches so that they feel they have a yummy treat, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, you've got chocolate cake. But it's really insanely healthy chocolate cake, and it tastes delicious. But it will be a wonderful treat and not make them feel like they're being deprived for eating well. We're gonna do that. Quinoa will also go in there, be a tossed salad for them this week. So I like to give them grain salads. I'll still put like arugula and stuff in that in there so that they have leafy greens, but their leafy greens are gonna be Swiss chard. What else have I got? Kale and arugula. I'll toss that in there, chopped up, but the quinoa is going to be their base. And so let's get that going. So quinoa cake, quinoa tossed in roasted veggies tonight, and quinoa salad. And that's the big underlier. So what we're going to do is I use, this is going to be promo for President's Choice. I use the President's Choice quinoa because I can get a huge bag of it. And what I need to do is I need 3 cups of quinoa today. So 1 cup for dinner, 1 cup for the cake. I think I'm gonna be using the whole bag. And then 1 cup for this week's salad. So I need to put 6 cups of water in, so that's what's in here. That is very full. Now the next thing I do, so the roasted chicken, all the leftovers. So all that juice and fat is gonna go into the quinoa. Really slowly pouring that in. My daughter's waiting for this to all slide in. So 1, it gives a lot more flavor, but it gives protein. So it's another secret way of getting protein, really good, and collagen. So lots of collagen in there, all wonderful things they need for staying healthy, having strong immune system. So all of this that I just cooked off the chicken today is going in here. Okay, and then I'm gonna All right, so that's just my daughter in the background doing her bit. So the next part I'm gonna do, so quinoa's cooking on the stove, lamb is cooking in the oven, and I have an hour and a half window to do all my food prep while this is going. So what I'm doing is I'm making the energy balls. These can't go to school with my youngest daughter and my son because they still go to a elementary school and are nut free, but they can go to school with my eldest at high school because she's allowed nuts, and this can go to their practices because they're able to take nuts to their practices. So I have made a cashew base. So this is 1 cup of cashews that I put in my food processor, threw it in here, and what we're gonna make is energy protein bars. So this is figs that have been blended up with coconut oil, and these end up being like really yummy Timbits. Sorry if you're not Canadian. Little balls, little like cookie balls. So that goes in, and I can share, again, I can share all these recipes. If you want your recipes, send an email, send me your email address, DM me your email address saying recipes please, and I will send you, everyone out who's looking for these recipes, I'll send you all the links in just one fell swoop, okay? So, what we're gonna add next, actually Lizzie, I forgot the cocoa. Can you get me the chocolate powder, the cocoa powder? All right, so I've put my dates in here. The next thing that's gonna go in are chia seeds. You put about a tablespoon of chia seeds. And yes, I'm one of those people who does it by sight. I've been baking a lot, so I do it by sight. So there's the chia seeds. They're gonna go in there. Then we're gonna add some shredded coconut. You get to put in half a cup. I do have a cup measurement here. So again, this just adds really nice flavor to everything for them. And the other thing, you want to grab also some vanilla extract. She's like, oh, mommy, I'm going up and down, up and down. So what in here, we're gonna put, how much chocolate powder do we put in? 1/3. So I'm gonna scoop this in. Oh, sounds like my car is home. I have really squeaky brakes right now, so they need to get replaced. All right, so that's about, yeah, it's about a 1/3 cup. No, we're not putting food dye in. Do you want it in your lemonade? Yes, she's putting food coloring in her lemonade. I add to this because I feel it adds more to it. 1 capsule of vanilla extract. Now, I'm going to be adding on top of that the vanilla protein powder that Karen Kilbride, so if you look Kay Gilbride up, or at Kay Gilbride, she was kind enough to send me this bag of vanilla protein powder, and she said you need to bake with it. So we're going to try that today. I've added 1 scoop into this because it's a pretty dry mixture. So I'm going to put 1 scoop of protein powder, and all you're going to do is mix this all up until it blends. And then you let it set for 20 minutes, which is how long the chia seeds are gonna set, not the chia seeds, sorry, the quinoa is gonna set for. And that'll be the next stage. So this is gonna set for 20 minutes, and then we'll do the next stage of it. Okay, so while the quinoa is just finishing cooking, I have prepped all the veggies. So this is tonight's roasted vegetables. So it's sweet potato, Brussels sprouts, and mushrooms. All I'm gonna do is give that a coating in olive oil. You can do coconut oil too, avocado oil, any kind of oil that performs well. A lot of people would argue about olive oil, but it's still the most cost effective. And I really like the flavor it gives. So, but choosing the oil you want, you can also do butter. I do butter often. So if you want a higher fat ratio and you need a little bit more saturated fats, butter's a great one. So then I just salt, and then this is gonna go in the oven. So that's in the oven with the lamb, which smells really good. I have diced for our quinoa salad, cucumbers, green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers. I normally have celery in there too because I really like the crunch factor of celery. But we're low, I forgot. That was one thing I forgot because I always forget something when I go to the grocery store. But I bought a bag of shredded carrots, so I'm gonna put half the bag in there as well. And then that will just have a lemon olive oil dressing. Kids really like the lemon zip in there. And so that will have the quinoa added to it once the quinoa is cooled, and it'll go in there. Quinoa's cooled, throw it in, throw the dressing, and then it'll just sit for the week, and they'll just take from it as they like with the chicken that's already in there. And then my son mixed together, while the nuts were out, he mixed together trail mix, which is just all the kind of nuts in the house at the moment. And then I think I'm gonna add some raisins and coconut flakes to it just to give it a little bit more zing, or more sweetness, I guess. And they will snack on that breakfast, lunch, dinner, all throughout the day. They'll just go to it. They'll often grab and put some in a mason jar and take it to gym, pool, wherever they're heading out to. So that's that. So the next thing we're gonna do is the cake. And then the lamb will come out and rest. And while that's resting, all the last little bit of magic happens, and then that's my food prep for the week. So now I'm making the cake that's gonna be for dessert today. Because like I said, Sunday I try to make a really nice meal. Because like I said, we don't get to sit together all the time, so Sunday's nice meal. Nice at table, nice meal. So this is one of the 4 dozen eggs I mentioned in yesterday's grocery post. I only have 2 dozen. This is one of 2 dozen left. That's it. That's how quickly we go through eggs in this house. So we already have some hard boiled. Eggs go into our baking, eggs go into everything. I honestly am gonna be needing to soon start getting 5 dozen. I need chickens. All right, so 4 eggs are gonna go into my food processor. I've already mixed up all the dry ingredients. The quinoa just came off the stove and it's just kind of sitting there. I'm gonna be adding, it needs to cool for the salad, so that's my 4 eggs. So I'm gonna grab, where'd my lid go? Ah, there it is. All right, lid goes on. There's my eggs mixed. Off that goes, and now I'm gonna add my milk. So my milk needs to be 1/3 of a cup, or whatever milk I prefer, is what it says. Now this is technically a vegan recipe. So we're not vegan in this house, we're just healthy. My daughter just had a moment, she was like, vegan? Meaning she loves meat. I'm sorry to everyone who is vegan out there, this recipe is all for you. But we really like meat in our house. But we try to get humane meat. I don't know if that helps. But we definitely eat meat, and my daughter has said that she'll move out if we take meat out of the house. Anyhow, we'll see if that happens. So I'm gonna mix the milk in. It's really this easy. This is not like I don't need my mixer for this at all. This is such an easy recipe. So I melted 1/2 cup of butter and 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil. That goes in here as well. Now I don't want it to cook the eggs, but I do need it to mix. So I'm just gonna give that a really, really, really light spin, like that. That's it, okay? So I'm gonna add this to my dry ingredients, which are all mixed in here. Pour that in, and it's gonna make a really runny mixture. Oh, where's my spoon? Where'd my spoon go? Oh, here. So all I'm gonna do, you don't need a mixer, you don't need a blender. You're just gonna mix this by hand, but it just mixes so quick and easy. And you just put it in there, and then my daughter, my youngest, who's been helping and made the lemonade, she just mixed up the pan for me. So we're gonna do this as a bunting cake because it makes it so easy to slice and put into lunches. And really, all that something is a bunting cake, it means that you've used that mold. That's it. So I used the bunting cake mold, and you can already see it's mixing up really nicely. It's not chunky at all, and it's really blending in quite smoothly. So now I need to add 2 cups of quinoa, and this takes the place of my flour. Now the thing I added to this recipe is I added protein powder again. So I've added 2 cups of the protein powder we're experimenting with today. So this has 20.4 grams of protein overall. So, and this should make a few good servings. So I'm gonna safely say 20 servings, depending on how I cut it. And that's all I'm doing. I'm literally scooping the quinoa out, and in. That's it. That is literally how easy this recipe is, okay? So this gets all mixed in to the cake. Everything gets absorbed. And quinoa acts as this really, really lovely flour in here. It smells so good. I'm gonna put this in the mold. This will go in the oven and cook for the regular amount of time as a cake, about 35 to 40 minutes, and you'll just check for doneness. So this will be done by the time we finish eating dinner. Kind of perfect, right? So that'll be our cake. I'll add the quinoa to the cut veggies. I'll show you guys that if I have enough room. But that's it. So hard-boiled eggs were cooked in the morning with breakfast. At lunch, I cooked the chickens that are going to be used for lunches all of this week and for second dinners or first dinners, depending on our staging. I have dinner for tonight, and out of that will be several more meals and charcuterie boards out of that. I have the quinoa salad that they're going to have for lunches this week. I have the cake that they're going to have, and then I have the energy balls. So the only thing left to show you guys is the energy balls. Okay, so energy balls. Like we said, you saw the recipe. I added the protein. I gotta say, this is really good. So I changed the recipe. I added cashews because we didn't have almonds, and I added the protein powder. Oh my God, so good. It was good before. It's really good now. So to make it have that Timbit look to it, there is, I don't know if you can see because the light's bouncing off of it. Anyhow, it's shredded coconut. And you literally just take a ball of this stuff and round it in your hands. And just like that, roll it in the coconut, and you're done. That's it. That is what I'm gonna do now for the last 8 minutes while the meat cooks. This will probably take me just a few minutes. Pop this in the oven. Not the oven, sorry, my bad. Pop this in the fridge. And so this is a no-bake recipe, and it'll just go in the oven. Why do I keep saying that? Oh my God. It'll go in the fridge, and it'll set for overnight. It doesn't have to sit overnight. You can eat them within half an hour, but I just don't tell my kids that. And anyhow, so they'll sit in there. And this will be another one of those go-to. This is a great one that my son takes to the climbing gym. He really appreciates taking this to the gym because it's just such a quick little bite. It just goes in his mouth, but the amount of energy he gets from it really is impactful. He doesn't feel hangry anymore. It makes a big difference in his mood swings when he comes back from the gym because he's normally very, very hangry. This is eliminating that. So yeah, so that's my meal prep. That's my meal prep in a nutshell, and I have 7 minutes before dinner goes on the table. Not bad, right?